Hey, what's up, Mr. Rashad? Antonio, the Upon Further Review, we're back. And we have a brand new show on HBO. I did not mean to rhyme. The Penguin.
Yes.
All spoilers. Got to talk about a thing to talk about a thing. And I'm just going to be upfront. HBO don't be missing, yo.
At all.
HBO do not be missing when it comes to this type of stuff.
It's not
Tony,
TV, Rashad.
it's definitely
It's
HBO
HBO. It's HBO.
because the amount, you know what this feels like, Tony?
What
It
is it
feels
like?
like they said, "Hey, we 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 want to have a series, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna take all of the assets we had from the movie and just give
Mm-hmm.
them to y'all, and y'all
Mm-hmm.
work it out." Even though we had our like we had Gotham essentially based in London, in
Mm-hmm.
England somewhere, we're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
it based in New York, and it's gonna be so seamless. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like it, this show for a pilot episode
Oh,
was so good.
it was so good. And it did what I liked it didn't do. It didn't try to go back and do backstory on Oz and this and that. It basically picked right up where the Batman ended.
Yep. We had a news broadcast about, hey,
Mm-hmm.
in case you didn't see the Batman, this will happen. We got a
Mm-hmm.
crazy person in the Riddler who bombed the
Mm-hmm.
town. Who you know what the ironic part is? And I
What's that?
love that they seeded this.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yo, the city's really messed up. But like the outskirts
Yes.
suburbs,
Mm-hmm. Fine.
they're good to go. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
everybody in the slums, in the tenements, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Struggling. And
Mm-hmm.
then you see just the devolved nature of Gotham even more so than when Batman was the
Mm-hmm.
Batman was a series. It's like it's yeah. This show
Yeah.
is about to be ridiculously good.
Yeah. And once again, what also makes this show works and is the ground level criminal of Batman villains. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's what really makes it work. It's the ground level criminals of Bat. It's not like, anybody really got any superpowers or anything like that.
Nah.
You have some fanatical looking characters the old school way, but they have modernized a lot of them. And then too, you're dealing with the underworld, the crime, you know what I'm saying, the crime element of it. And basically the series is there is a power struggle now with the underworld to find out who is going to be the new kingpin of of Gotham. And they even said that in the fake newscast though too. You know
Which
what I'm
was
saying? Like
even more
there's a
crazy.
whole a vacuum. Yeah,
Like, how you gonna
yeah.
acknowledge that? Like, Carmine died, and his son could be the next on the news, yo. Like, and like I thought,
On the
I
news.
said, hold on, yo. Like, how's the news reporting this that his son may be the next, mob boss of Gotham,
Mm-hmm.
but he got a little drinking problem. I was like,
Yeah,
that's wild that they just
yeah,
openly acknowledge that these people is running
mm-hmm.
Gotham, and that's why Batman be so
Yeah,
mad. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's not a secret.
And it's also kind of like what happened too in another great series from HBO, The Sopranos, when they talked about that in the Sopranos, like in like the pilot episode of the, said Sopranos, and it moves along where was it the Mayo family, the head dude, he's locked up for life, and you got Jackie Aprizzi, who's the new boss, and then what happens? He catches cancer and he died. They're like, you know, the DeMaio crime family acting boss, Jackie Aprizzi, he's dead. There's a power vacuum of who's going to be the next person in charge of the family. It's just it's wild about that, and just to see, and I love the fact that this show is basically showing you how the Penguin, you know, rose to power to become what I guess we all know and love, minus
The
minus
fantastical parts of it.
the
Yeah.
fantastical part of the Penguin, man. So I mean, it's just a great opening montage and just a great pilot episode altogether.
Like even him going back to the club, finding the the save, seeing like some of like the dirty politicians, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Seeing the
Mm-hmm.
jewels that Falcone left and his son rolling
Mm-hmm.
up in there. And like I was like, I know he's not about to kill this man. So and the way that he I love the way that the penguin is played. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just a bastard. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
he is really talking his way out of everything and just
Mm-hmm.
trying to be like two steps ahead of everybody and is really playing that whole, I'm a low key humble dude. I'm just trying to do my thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
even was a young Falcone was talking to him and said, yeah, my dad knew that you was taking what you needed at the top, but you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. But you wasn't doing nothing dirty. You was still about the team for the most part. But he
Yeah.
understood. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why he liked you. You know what I'm saying?
He
Like
said, he said you ain't take enough where it caused a dent or anything, to make it noticeable. You did what you had to do, and he respected you. He respected you for that.
yeah. And
But
and and, and the whole respect thing went out the
uh-huh.
window because he's playing this like this really interesting kind of like fairy tale of a mom story of like a dude back in the day, his mom, like the mob boss back in the day. He's like, man, he was out here. He remembers your name. He was like, paying bills for people. He was out here, just being like
Mm-hmm.
the man of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
I'm gonna say something. That was reminding me of, right?
What's that?
Frank Lucas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frank Lucas or Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
Definitely.
they did criminal activity, but they looked out for the hood, for the
Yeah, they look
neighborhood.
like. I
They
mean,
gave
even though
people job.
in a very
Yeah.
weird way, even though we are killing our people, we're still helping them too. And like it's kind of
Yeah.
like a weird dichotomy of righteousness, so to speak. But yeah,
Righteous indignation. Yeah. Because it's crazy because it's like very good. And so it's like, yeah, it's like, he was like, hey man, if somebody needed, something medical done, you make sure you got it done. If you needed some money for your what I'm saying, for your rent, he got it done or whatever. And it seems as if the penguin, because you saw in the Batman when he found out Falcone was the rat, remember how pissed off he was. He was like, you motherfucker,
yeah,
you the rat. Like he was really pissed off. It's the fact that the penguin respects the respectability of being a crime boss, being like the Don or the mob, the head of the mob. Even though, yeah, we doing this, we're looking out for,
yes. So
for the people.
some honor amongst thieves type
Bro, on
situation.
amongst thieves type thing. So when he said that and told that story and then talked about, yeah, when that man died, like we threw a parade for him. He said it wasn't no big thing. It was, we was still, it was a modest parade. And little Falcon, but it's always got to be a son, got to be a asshole, man. He just like, you trying to compare me to some little small time, and he was like, okay, all right, I see.
It's like,
And
nah,
then he
that's
was like,
not.
what? And he was like, you think that's gonna be you? And then he just started laughing
He
at him
said,
and making,
"Oh, you want to be him, don't you?" Yeah. He was laughing in the man's
yeah,
face, and then he was like,
and
pulled out the blicky.
but you see how effortlessly he did it. Like
Mm-hmm.
just it won't even like no what you say or what like
Nah, it
oh you go
wasn't
shoot me
even.
type stuff. It was just like
Man,
bah, bah, bah.
man, shut your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right, and then
it
he
was
sat there.
quick.
Yeah,
So there was like,
and we later
mm-hmm.
find out why he's like really quick temper like that. We're gonna probably find out even
Even
more
more so.
in
Oh
the
yeah, another
during
tidbit
the
too.
series.
Like
Uh-huh.
I like a show that has that plants good seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with the whole he had a ring, he's like, yeah, I took this. Like my dad's had his ring. He got this
Mm-hmm.
from Maroney.
Maroney,
You got this from
South, yeah,
Maroney.
South. Salvatore Maroni, the Maroni
Yeah, this was
crime family.
Salvatore
Yeah.
Maroney's ring. He took it off from before he went to jail. You know what I'm saying? He had this as like a, as a trophy. And he
Yeah.
took it, and then let me get that ring up off you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Got the
Mm-hmm.
ring, got some jewels, and then you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, you start wrapping his body up. But the crazy thing is, Tony, your man has a debilitating like leg thing going on, a foot thing. So he is
He is.
struggling with his
It's
body.
like a club. It's almost like he got a Lucius club foot or whatever. Like my man Laris from
He does
House
have
of the
a
Dragon. He
he
has
does
like
have a Laris. It's just not as bad, you know what I'm saying? But you're
yeah.
right. He does have like a club foot, even though this is modern day.
Mm-hmm.
His mom ain't had him money to
Mm-hmm.
fix it. He was a kid. Nah, but yeah, yo,
Right.
like he's struggling with his body. So
Uh-huh.
the Tony,
He flunked
the
that.
way that he flung that body down them steps.
And shout out to the sound engineer because you hear like the nose and stuff breaking when it hit the daggone steps and went. Because he was about to just walk it down. Then he stopped and was like, man, F this body. Just tossed that thing. You hear crunch. I said, oh, that hurt.
Yo, your man went down the steps and saw them kids trying to take his rims.
Yo, shout out to the plum with gold trim Maserati.
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
the funny thing was, right?
mm-hmm.
In the Batman, since it was dark, you can never see the color of the car.
Right, yeah, right. Uh-huh.
You just knew it
Right.
was
Mm-hmm.
you knew it was like a 2013, 14 Maserati Quattro Porte.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, like other than that, I was like, because it's the funny thing too, just like looking at the mind of Penguin. The Penguin wants to be relevant, but he
Mm-hmm.
got a really older model, very unreliable Maserati as his car. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Maseratis suck engine wise and like failure all the
Mm-hmm.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the fact that
Mm-hmm.
he wanna be wanna be a baller, shot
Shot
caller, 20 inch
caller
plays
in
on the
space.
baller,
Holla.
call up in space tonight. I'm sorry. Y'all know what we're talking about. So anyway,
Highway.
you better way. All right.
Ready, ready. Shut up.
Sorry.
1999 was a year to
I'm
be alive,
still
yo.
still got this coffee. So now, so he wants to be this person so bad, but he
Mm-hmm.
got to get an old car, put a wrap on it, and get some gold pin and get gold pinstripe everywhere. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he's shooting at the kids, horrible aim, shoots his car,
Yeah.
and then three of them skedaddle, one sticks behind, and we know that to be our boy Vic Aguilera, and
Uh-huh.
and he is like clearly has a speech impediment because he is scared and
Mm-hmm.
struggling. The fact that Penguin said,
Jesus
"Hey,
Christ, kid,
man,"
calm down.
he said, "Man, calm down."
Jesus Christ, kid,
I
calm.
was like,
I'm like, man,
"Yo,
you
with
got
a
a
gun."
gun in this kid's face, and he's like, he was like, Jesus Christ, kid, calm down. It's relax, calm. Calm down.
Funny. Yeah.
He took pity on him, man. He
Oh
took pity on
man.
him for the most part. And it's kind of like it's kind of like a God. I hate to keep bringing this up. Tyrion Lannister. I have a small thing in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things. Cripples, bastards, and broken things. Because
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, for real, because it's the kid with the
Uh
disability, just like he has. He has a disability himself. So
huh.
he says, "Look,
I own you.
come help me with his body." So
Mm-hmm.
so they're like they're lugging Falcone and put him in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? And he takes the ring off, puts him in there, and then tells him, "Oh, you like the car? Drive."
Drive. Yeah, yeah. He said you like to call someone, flip the keys, and the kid is like standing there like, he says, "Hey, get the car, let's drive." That probably drive. Yeah, I would think if this was a real life thing, that drive was awkward as hell because the kid is
Tony.
driving horse. His arms were straight out like that on the steering wheel, and he just kept looking. And shout out to the fact that they changed his name from Cobblepot to Cobb. Oz is like, And then just try to have like a regular conversation with him. Like,
Like,
hey,
yeah, hey man, where you from? You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah,
oh,
I'm from over there too. That spot that got like the slush puppies. Me and brothers go there all the time, man. Do they still sell the slush puppies over there? He was
he's like,
like, I think so. You know what I'm saying? Like he said,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man. He said, yeah, we used to get them all, put the flavors together, get a suicide. He said, you ever did that? He was like, nah. He said, oh, you missing out, yo.
He
You
says
gotta
you
get
ought to. He says you ought to get that, and then he's like, I'm hoping to try that one day. And the kid is like, because the
yes.
kid is thinking this man is going to kill me at the end of this, and he's
Now,
just
I'm
like,
hoping to try that one day. Really,
I'm hoping to try.
he was like, yeah, you should.
And you know what was funny? That kid was basically doing what Oz does in his everyday life, trying to talk his way out of a situation. I think that's another reason why
Yeah.
Penguin was kind of like, all right, I like this kid. So then they stop into, I guess, what you like to call the red light district of of Gotham, where you have ladies and other people of the night walking around, soliciting their bodies off and
Their wares.
their wares. And he get out the car, like, yeah, come on, follow me. He says, just gonna leave him in. He says, what your friends gonna come take? He's gonna try to take ties again. And he was like, no. So they go upstairs and they go to this apartment. Oz knocks on it and she comes out and she's like, hey, Oz, what you doing here? And you could tell she's a prostitute,
Uh-huh.
but you can tell too that Oz has a thing. He has some feelings for her. You know, he's trying to, for all intents and purposes, turn a hoe into a housewife. And see, he's like, I don't mean to be all up in your stuff and everything. He peeking like, you ain't. Why you peeking for, bro? He says, are you alone? She said, he was like, look, babe, I need an alibi that says I was here. And she says, after 10, whatever it is, you was here after 10. He says, bet, pays her for her services, and then they bounce.
Yeah. The
And
funny thing too about that scene was before they even went inside. And it's like,
uh-huh.
oh, how you doing? How you doing, Oz? It's like, oh, got some fresh meat over here. And straight
Yeah.
flash and titty to him. He was like,
Yeah.
he was kerfuffled, like he did not know what was
Yeah.
going on. He said, I ain't never
What's
been over
going
here
on
before at
here?
night.
Well, I
Crazy.
might want to come back. I might want to come back later on over here.
Freaks come out at night. So yeah.
Yeah.
So they dip out of there. And where they go next?
Um, they take the body to the junkyard.
Yo. So as they're on the, and this is what I'm talking about. They took the assets from the movie and just put them right into the series. Because as they're driving, it's like daylight now. It's morning. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
the sun is
The
starting
sun
to
is starting to
rise.
come out, and
It's that point where it's light outside, but the sun isn't up yet. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's definitely like the sun is starting to rise on the
Yeah.
horizon,
Uh
and
huh.
you see the city in the background, and it's like it's still flooded, it's still a
Uh huh.
mess, and then Oz is talking about how like, look, man, it's crazy what that madman did to the city like that. And he was talking to me, said, look, yeah, like I know you said you lived out, forgot the name of the neighborhood or whatever. But he was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know
See,
ain't
that
nothing.
tenement ain't there. That tenement ain't there no.
Got any family? I know they probably gone, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing there
Uh
no
huh.
more. And they roll up to the junkyard, find this old sedan Neville, throw him in there, and then he said, hey man, it's a beautiful sunrise. You want to turn and look at that? He said, fam, I know I can't talk, but I ain't stupid,
Yeah. Yo, my man said, Victor said, hey, yo, whoa. I can help you. You need me. I can do stuff. And he was like, what the hell I need with you for? He was like, I can do things. Come on, man, please. He was like, just please help me. Like no. And then I was just like, here, kid. He reached in his pocket and he's like, "Yo, whoa, chill," because at first he was like he was gonna hit him with a crowbar right beside the head and kill him.
Yeah.
Joker to Rock, Joker to Jason Todd style.
Need a
He's
little
gonna take a
blunt force
crowbar,
trauma, head trauma.
and
Yeah.
but then he reached his pocket, kid thought he was about to pull out a gun. He actually pulls out like a nice cigar and said, "Hey, you ever had one of these before?" He said, no. He said, here, go ahead, smoke it. I said, yo, he's like, that's his last request. He said, smoke the cigar while I daggone kid. He was like,
Yeah.
come on, man, please don't. And then Oswald was like, fine, look here. You work for me now. You're gonna drive me around, basically. You're gonna be like kind of my gopher type thing. And little did this kid know, if he wants this type of life, that is the best position for him to be in, because you're learning under the head person,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know everything. You're gonna know everything because you're gonna be right there. And so they was like, all right, man, we're gonna do this. Let's get on up out of here. And then they drive and to a warehouse. And you walk up in there, Penguin walks up in there, but you see the respect and adoration that all those guys have for him.
Yeah.
Hey Oz, yo, what's going on, man? How you doing? And and at the, I guess this is the facility where they cut their drug. The drug they got, what's called the drops, the drips or
Drops. Yeah,
something.
the drops.
Yeah, drops. This is a type of drug they have called drop.
Speaking of
And
drugs, I almost forgot. That was one of the key points that Falcone was saying. Look, yo, forget these drops. I'm about to go to the market. I got that. I got that new drug. That's about to,
yes,
like on in a couple of days. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm about to get that. And then he saw it on his phone, took his phone, took a picture of it. The drop comes like Wednesday, I think they said.
yeah,
And
Wednesday something or
so he shatters his old phone. And then
mm-hmm.
that's just not his thing. Is like, look, yo, I got a shipment coming in on Wednesday. It's about to
Mm-hmm.
be that. It's
About to
about
be
to be,
that work.
yo. It's about to be
Because
them.
the flood took out their supply of the drops they had, but
Yeah,
they said, hey, the dude, so like the black guy, just that's like the chemist, was like, hey, we were able to salvage with like 30%.
30% of it. He
It's
said,
30%
he
of
said,
the,
but it's sewage. He said, man,
he
drop
said,
heads ain't
but
gonna
hey,
care.
he said this is good. He was like, hey man, drop heads don't care. They gonna still need, say still need this or whatever. And so the kid is there, walking around with him and everything. And then they was like, hey Oz, we got a problem. And one of his men got hurt, got hit up, got stuck up or whatever. And it was like, yeah, what happened? It was like, yeah, man, the gang, they snatched him up and they took all his supply. They took all his product. And he's like, all of it? Man, damn. He's like, man, take him back there, clean him up and stuff, because it seems as if Oz kind of cares about his workers, or what I'm saying, or whatever, which goes back to the story that he was telling, Alberto. That was the Alberto
Yeah,
Falcone about that drug lord dude. So the next thing you know, another guy comes in and says, yo, it's a phone call. It's from the family. They want to meet up. And he's like, what? Here, take it. And you see Oswald take the phone. You see the kid looking a little nervous. And he's like, okay. All right, yeah, beat it. It's driving to, I guess, the Falcone estate.
mm-hmm.
Oz is a little nervous, but he's hiding it kind of well. That kid is horrified. What do you mean they want to meet up? He was like, just some, this probably won't talk about what's going on, who's this and that or whatever. It's gonna be fine, kid. And they pull up to it. He's like, if I don't come back out, yeah, don't worry, I'll be back out. It's no big thing. If I don't come back out, they'll
What?
kill you. He said that means they kill me and they're gonna probably kill me
He
too. But
said, hey man, see why y'all here waiting? How about you go find your sense of humor? I was like, oh my
yeah,
god, yo.
yeah. He was like, I'm just joking. Just find your sense of humor while y'all here
I
waiting. There's
said,
someone in
yo,
this
put that
car.
man through it, yo. This is his first full day of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go ahead. So they go inside the Falcone estate, and then there's a guy, and I guess he's kind of like the lawyer for them, or I guess the consigliere, because he's like one of the family. And there's another dude. So let me explain something, Rashad, what I noticed. Not the bald-headed one that was telling him what to do, but the other one that kind of brought him in and said, hey Oz, what's up, we glad here. The kind of Italian looking dude with the grayish hair and the beard.
Yeah.
You are never going to believe who he is. He was one of the Lost Boys in the movie Hook with Robin Williams from back in the day.
Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
yo.
Yeah, he was one of the. I looked him in. I was like, yo, that's one of the kids that was like, he had like a little suit and the tie. He was like, Rufio, Rufio. Oh, he was one of those kids out there like that or
Wow.
whatever.
That's a good catch.
So, yeah, I was like, I said, he reckon that I put it two and two together. I saw that. So they're telling Oz, what, Rashad? Yeah, man, Gotham's some trash right now. And there's a lot of stuff going on. we need to close down the warehouse and that whole operation, and we're gonna move it to Rivendell or whatever like that. We're
Yeah.
moving it. And Oz is like, yo, wait, that's my spot. What are we doing? And he was like, no, you seem to be confused. That's our spot or whatever. And Oswald is like, yo, these dudes are really testing me. He was like, look here. He says, the whole thing is, look at how much money I bring you guys. I bring you guys a whole lot of money, and I could bring you some more money. And he says, look here. He was like, man, y'all don't have no product. But did you catch it when Oz lied? We got 70% of it back, even though the guy had told him he lost 30%. That's why I was like 30%. And he was like 70% of it back. He was like, man, this is where our base is, this and that. He said, yeah, you're gonna move it out of Riverdale. Ain't no drop heads out there, you know what I'm saying? That's like the good folks. They ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, do that stuff. And then he says, look here. And he starts to talk. He says, give me some time. He says, I have the lock on some new stuff that's coming in. It's a new shipment. And they was like, well, what is it? That's besides the point. Because he don't even know what it is. He's like, I can't really
say that right now.
I can't even tell y'all about it right now. He says, but this is about to change the game. It's going to change us the whole time. There's a woman in white who walks in, silent as can be, and she's
in the back. Real quick though, I want to talk about the other dude that was at the table. That's Johnny Vitti, who is also played one of the people from Man of Steel. The actor, he was in Man of Steel as well.
Yes, he was. Yes,
instantly remember him. So his accent is Michael Kelly, and he was like, "Hey, we don't care." Like Stephen A. Smith. Shut it down. You got 2 days, basically. You got 40 hours to shut that thing down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And but like he was saying, like we had somebody in the background, like 2 bodyguards and like a younger, like a adult female.
And before you go any further, one thing we did leave out, when he went to his warehouse at first, he met with the guy that was kind of running things. We weren't there. He remembered the file that he had on like the corrupt city officials. He took like the corrupt pictures and stuff, put it in the envelope and said, hey, make sure the city councilman gets this. And let him know it's from me. He's already planted the seeds to be like, hey, man, I don't want you to get in trouble. Here, take this right here, stuff like that. Let's get back to the Falcone estate.
Yo, I just want to say, I love the way this episode is written because it's like you said at the top. It clearly shows you Penguin. Only thing he has is really his words and how he can get in and out of trouble. Because this is a situation of him getting in trouble unawares. You know what I'm saying? Because she's in the background listening and just kind of as the girl would say, just clocking tea. And she's like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, I didn't know you was. She was like, out of Arkham? Like, yeah, did not know that. And they have this small back and forth, and he's like,
Sophia is just sitting there like, yeah, yo, and she's acting such a weirdo, yo,
looking visibly crazy in the face. Like the actress playing her is playing Maniac very well because it's like
Kristen Melody.
It's because it's like a calm crazy, you know what I'm saying? And as we know, the calm crazy is the craziest of crazies, you know what I'm saying? So
she says, I have been rehabilitated.
I was like, oh no, she has not.
They see fit for me to come home, and he's like, and it's funny because you see him looking like,
he's like, oh yeah, that's good.
That's good.
As a matter of fact. I gotta go.
No, before that, he was like, "Oh, that's nice." And she was like, "So, Oz, have you seen Alberto?"
Oh yeah.
And then he completely ignored her question and was like, "All right, so I'm gonna have it shut down." He turned back around to the dude. I'm gonna have this shut down in 2 days.
2 days, son. I'm good.
Yeah, let me go ahead and start getting going. And he like. It's best to hop on the hell.
He said, "Hey, man. So, man, good to see you, yo. Like,
good to see you. Glad you're rehabilitated, sweetheart. He get out. He couldn't get to that car fast enough. He get outside. She opens up the door. Hey, Oz, and he like, God damn, what? She's like, you talking to him? I noticed you didn't answer my question. Have you seen Alberto? And he's like, no, I haven't. No, I ain't seen him or whatever. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, you know what? We need to catch up. It's been a long time. Let's go have some lunch. And he's like, you mean right now?
He's like, yeah, I know a spot.
I know a spot. So they go to have lunch, and it is. Let me tell you something. The way that heifer was eating that damn food, you could tell she was locked up.
Tony.
Yeah, she was eating that food the same way Marlon Wayans was when he was the white chick in the movie White Chick when he went out with
Terry
Terry Crews.
Crews. My
Yeah,
God.
and you saw the look of disgust on Oz. He was like, this bitch is disgusting right here. And
Like,
she
like
dang
the
go
funny thing
chug.
is, like, did she just get out this morning? Like,
Right. That's what I'm thinking too. And the way she chugged down that daggone dirty martini, and she said, stopping. Go ahead and give me another one. Hey, you need one, Oz? No, go ahead. He said, no, give me two. Go ahead and give him one too. Make it three. I said,
three olives, please. You know what I'm saying? It
three
was
olives, please.
yeah. She
Yeah.
was murdering that food. And the funny part was, like, just a quick backstory of her. She's like, yeah, oh man, like, he's talking about he said he's sitting there to my brother, and he's explaining, say, hey, look, man, your brother's a bit of a, he
Yeah.
said, he has a penchant for the alcohol. So, he probably went on
Yeah.
the bender. He's done that from time to time, but he always comes back.
Remember what she said? She said, what do you mean a bender? And he says, look here, Sophia.
I've been drinking.
He said, your brother's an addict. And I'm not just talking about alcohol. He's on the drips too. He's on the drops too, and everything like that. He's been on bingers before. He's come back and this and that. And she's like, do you know when I was locked up, he was the only one that came to see me once a week just to make sure I was okay. And he was like, yeah. And then she was like, and you say you haven't seen him? And he's like, no, I ain't seen him. She says, funny. He said he was leaving last night when I last saw him. He was going to your old club to get some things from father's office. Like, saying a little hideout. He's like, oh, really? He said that, huh? He's like, yeah, I was going to go with him, but he cares so much about me. He doesn't want me to get hurt. So he went by himself. And then he was like, and then it's funny. He also talked about a game-changing drop that was coming. And how funny is it that I find you talking about the same thing? And you see Oz like, damn, this bitch gonna get me. So he's just like, all right, look here. He says, all right, I did see him. We talked for a little bit. And he said he was going by the club. That's all. He says, I'm pretty sure if you go by the club, you'll see whatever you need to see or whatever. He says, but I haven't seen him since then. She was like, well, why did you lie to me? He was like, hey, man, me and your brother was working out some type of deal. We was working, say we was working something out and we weren't trying to have no, no miscommunication, this, that. She's like, okay. And he's like, all right. And so they was like, all right, cool. And so it cuts to the end of their little lunch outing, Rashad. And he puts her coat on her and he's like, it was good to have you out. She says, cool. And then they go in for a hug. She goes in to hug him, but she tells him in his ear. But she tells him, Rashad, like, I know there's more to you than what you like to portray. She already know that this man is
basically
lying.
he's like, yo, she's like, I knew there's more. I know always been knew there was more than what it seems. Or like people basically
right.
saying, like, look.
And you had bigger aspirations type stuff or whatever, yeah.
Like, I knew you was about that life way before people, like, basically, like, yo, I've always taken you seriously. You know what I'm saying? I let them know, like, look, yo, you ain't gonna talk yourself out of this one.
Yeah.
I ain't got no evidence. I ain't got enough evidence yet, though.
Right. And so the penguin, he next thing you know, him and Victor, they starts to take the train, the subway L train, whatever.
Yo, your
They
man
take
got back into the city, hopped on a train,
uh-huh.
hopped on another train, hopped
Like
on a
three
third
trains.
train to get to a
Mm-hmm.
car. You know what I'm saying? And Tony,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A
the,
Volvo.
a Volvo with
Mm-hmm.
white walls
Mm-hmm.
and, and wires. You know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
that was like a 1991, 92-ish Volvo.
yeah,
Might have been older
it
than
was
that,
like,
man.
that late 80s, early
Yeah.
90s Volvo
Uh,
sitting on
uh,
like some 14s with some wires and white walls. I'm
yeah.
like, yo, again, him
And then where
wanting,
the key compartment and where the secret key compartment was too lets you know that it was a late 80s, early 90s because it was under the wheel bin. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh.
yeah. Like there's like, yo, like the way that they're like characterizing him in this,
Uh-huh.
okay, this is what's called indirect characterization class, is when you
Mm-hmm.
see things that about the character, but they're
Mm-hmm.
shown to you and not told to you. So you can see that
Mm-hmm.
even in his old crappy car,
Mm-hmm.
he still want to be fly. He put rims on the damn Volvo. There's no reason to do
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying?
At all.
So
At all.
and then he gets in the car and what, working on the fire comes on. You know what I'm saying? And then gets the smirk out of the kid, and he's like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? That's just for me because I be because car be working. You know what I'm saying?"
Uh-huh.
And then he drive. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I already know where they're going. They're going to mom's house because mom, of course,
Mm-hmm.
stays out. Probably like, let's just say if this was New York, out Long Island somewhere, all them trains they
Yeah.
took in the straight
Yeah.
suburbs. So,
And you know he did that just to make sure nobody could follow
oh yeah, oh definitely. I'm
him. For
taking three
real.
trains and
Definitely.
getting in a car. Oh yeah, he ain't
Uh-huh.
trying to be definitely not trying to be followed. So go to yo.
It's yeah, they pull up the mom's house. Remember, he told her, he says, "Hey, I've never brought nobody here." He says, he says, be polite. If you make a scene, he's like, "Yes, I know you're gonna gut me like a fish, like you said earlier, or whatever." And he just walks in and says, "Hey, you stay right here." Hey, beautiful, what's going on? Go ahead, Rashawn. That whole scene
Yo,
was,
like it's
yeah.
funny because it like dissimilar to the Joker, the
Mm-hmm.
movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
his mom's is older, but she still has all her faculties for the most part.
Yeah, but
And
she's starting to show
I mean,
signs.
she's starting to show signs that she's getting up
Uh
there in age because
huh.
Oz ain't no spring chicken either.
Right.
And she got her meds in the bathtub. And he's like, "Look, yo, let's
Mm-hmm.
take your meds now." And he's like, "What?" Like, gave her the the neck. This another thing too. He
Ice on
loved
her.
being flashy. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
loves again. He should have never
Mm-hmm.
gave his mom that necklace. And mom's is
But she
like,
knew
"Yo,
right away.
like, what you doing, yo? Like, you up to something?" And he's like, like, and straight up tells him, like, look, yo, I shot out Alberto Franconi. She was like, why?
What do you do? Mm-hmm. Why? What do you do?
Basically, he said, yo, like he was being disrespectful, yo. He said,
He
I really
laughed
didn't
at her.
mean, so I didn't really mean to do it, but I did it.
She said,
Like,
she's like, I was being, he says, it's on me. I was being impulsive.
so he
It was a
wasn't being
mistake. It
impulsive.
was a dumb thing to do. She completely flipped it on his ass for real. She went from being the little sweet mom who loves her son to, showing maybe she has a little sickness coming along to her to, you sound like a pussy right now. I said,
She said, "You little pussy boy." I said, "Pussy boy." I was like, "Yo," and proceeded to call him a pussy boy like 4 or 5 times. You know what I'm
can,
saying?
can, can we explain something real quick? As as men, for the most, men most part really love their mothers and they adore their mothers for the most part. And you know, if you're if a male figure in your life calls you that, you like, all right, man, what the hell ever. You don't pay that shit no mind or whatever. Even when your boys arguing with you, man, you're a real pussy, or whatever like that. But for your mother to say that, that's like hurtful. Like, you ain't supposed to say that to me. I'm your baby boy, yo. You
His
you
whole disposition changed.
his whole yeah, completely changed. And she knows what he's into. That's the funny thing about it. It ain't like he's hidden this whole, she knows what he's into. And she's like, "You a pussy boy. Are you a pussy boy?" She said, "Sound like a pussy boy right there." And I was just like, yo, what's going on? On top of that, she sees Victor and she freaks out, of course, because she sees an Afro Latino looking dude in her. Oh, what's that? He's like, hey, it's all right, man. I'm here. I'm here to help out. And she's like, hey, that's Victor. You know, we about to leave town and he gonna help us out. He's like a nurse. And he's like, and Victor said, not really, but he was like, something like that or whatever. And she's basically just like, look here. I knew it was gonna come to this, and this is gonna be your town. We ain't running. He said,
Mm-hmm.
he talked about you. He said he laughed at you. Good. He deserved that shit. You know what I'm saying? So what you go, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? Simple as that. That's what she told him. And she told him, it's your time. Go out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? I ride around and I get it. You know, that's what she told him to go do. And he finally was like, all right, Ma, you right. So this is when the Penguin starts to put his master plan for this episode into play. God, it was such a great.
Bruh.
He goes to Blackgate Prison to meet up with Salvatore Moroni. And he tells the kid at first, look here, I'm about to go meet up with Moroni. You keep your phone on standby, okay? I'll call you when I need you. And he was like, you're going to be all right, kid. So he goes to see Salvatore Moroni in prison. And Salvatore Moroni was the big boss, the other big boss in the city. You know, that's who we found out that Falcone got him locked up by snitching to him to the Gotham PD. Salvatore comes into the waiting room. Oz is sitting at a table. He says, that's not my table. Makes a move because you see he comes out there with other goons and stuff too. And what I just found funny about this, and this lets you know that Salvatore is running what's going on in that prison. They are openly talking about crime shit in front of the guards and stuff.
Yeah.
Not even thinking about the repercussions or anything like it. And so Oz says, look here. I came to you because we know what happened with Falcone. I don't like what's going on with the family. I'm here to flip and be
Basically.
with you.
Yeah.
And be with you, run with you and stuff. And he's like, I got shit to come. He says, look, I'm willing to do this work with you. And you know, say we make a split. And I got this new thing coming in, this and that. And Moroni's like, yo, man, F what you got to say. I know who you are. He says, you don't think I know you the one. He says, you used to dago set my boys up and everything, my crew and stuff up or whatever. You say you want to do this. He says, because they putting you in danger, but now you putting my people in danger. Yo, F you, this and that. I know you. He says, you quit the flip. He says, and I don't want to work with nobody who's easily to flip like that. I love how Oz isn't trying to be like, no, not me, that type of stuff. He's like, come on, Sal. You know, I'm trying to. And then he was like, all right, bet. That's how you feel. Cool. No problem. But he says, I'll be back in a week. Let you think about it. I'll be back in a week. And he says, no, I said, I don't want to ever see you again. I'll be back in a week and let you know. And then he says, oh, by the way, got something for you. He pulls the ring out, sits on the table. Moroni looks and says, yo.
And he starts walking away.
He starts walking away. Hey, where you get? You know, just, you know, Frank, you know, Falcone had that. And he used to flaunt it around saying, you know, hey, saying that he had power over you because you were locked up and everything. So, you know, I just thought it'd be nice to return it to his rightful owner, type stuff like that. And he was just like, have a good one. And you see Sal Moroni looking like, damn, I might need to work with this, you know, so I might need to work with this mofo.
Again,
he's gonna be a double agent, you know.
Someone sees out here, boy.
Mm-hmm. And so what happens next? Penguin is, you know, he's about to head back to his warehouse that he's supposed to be shutting down. He sees like some of those Falcone cars and stuff, and he's like, okay. And then one of the guys move out the way, and he sees Sophia. He says, "Oh shit, shit, oh ass."
Yeah, and don't forget, like, so, and as he's driving, he's trying to call Vic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because right, he told him before. He said, "Look, before he went to the train station, he was like, man, hey, this is the plan. Make sure you keep your." He said, "You sure you good to do this?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm good to do it." He said, "Hey, keep
Uh-huh.
your phone on." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's definitely speeding in the city and
Yeah, right.
going nowhere fast. And
Mm-hmm.
Vic is not answering the phone. Straight to voicemail. Straight to voicemail. Straight to voicemail. And the funny
Mm-hmm.
part was, he losing for a little bit, but then gets
Mm-hmm.
just so New York. It's a
Mm-hmm.
huge truck. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a daggone
A,
blocked off
a,
street. And this
like
is
a
like a little
FEMA. It's like a FEMA
it's yeah, so yeah,
encampment.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a little FEMA thing going on, just like New York, just a side street, just not even accessible. He gets caught. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And yo, he's so slick. This man gets out the car, act like he's running the crowd.
Uh-huh.
Here's him pull up. He's in the trunk. Hits the
Mm-hmm.
emergency release, gets out the trunk, and about to head back to the car. Man, dude was like, nah, nah. So they scuffling and tussling. God, you know what I'm saying? Kiss him back. Other dude comes through and like he pushes him
Let's get the
back so
guy got
far. He got hit by a
by
school
school.
bus
You see
full
how
of
the kid
children.
they you saw how they was looking at Oz like, and then he just went. It was like, hey, what's going on? And then that's when he got
You know, the
stolen
guy
and got caught.
got caught, yo.
Yeah,
And they had your man out here butt naked.
bucket, bucket naked.
It's a couple butt naked situations. One that comes to
Uh,
mind is Bond, and you know what I'm saying, and on Quantum of Solace, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. Another butt naked situation is your man from who was working at the Carter, you know what I'm saying, on the Carter in New Jack City, and they walked down the
Mm-hmm.
street and about to hit him with a
Mm-hmm.
lullaby, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But yeah, so yo, I love Sophia Falcone, y'all.
Yeah.
She's such a good character because she
Yeah.
is tripping balls in that room.
Yo, won't she spazzing? She was tweaking so hard. She was just pacing back and forth, and she just started talking about how much she loved her brother and like how he, you know what I'm saying, like he how he looked out for her when she was locked up. He was there for her and stuff. And she was just like, "Where is my brother? Where is he at?" And he's just like, I don't know, bro, situation. He don't even say nothing to her. He's just sitting
Uh-uh.
there tied up and then they proceed to start to torture him or whatever. And
Yo, with like the
throughout like a
like a real thin wire. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
like
almost
almost like fishing line, like or
yeah,
else
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like some spy movie type stuff. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But it and it's just digging in his shoulder, and he's like, wincing.
yeah.
And then she asks him again, "Hey, where's my brother?" And
Mm-hmm.
had a gun all in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Sound like a Biggie
Yeah.
song. So like
Uh-huh.
it was crazy, and then they was pretty much about to kill him, and then obviously here,
Yeah.
boom,
Boom.
turn around and look, and he's like, okay. They walk outside. It's that random
Uh-huh.
Cadillac. For some reason, I guess he also learned how to get that thing to drive because
Uh-huh.
he had of course the standard cinder block on the gas pedal and
Mm-hmm.
drove it in there. Boom. Everybody come out the house. She come out the I guess they're in like a little like greenhouse or atrium
Yeah,
in the back.
it was like an atrium or something
Very,
like that.
very,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
very nice grounds that place
Yeah.
was.
Uh-huh.
And she's walking out and like Johnny Viti, I think his name was. We just talked about a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
He was out there. He's like, hey, don't go back here. And she was like, no. Opens up the trunk. He in that joint. You know what I'm saying? Couple
Uh-huh.
days dead, starting to
Uh-huh.
decompose. And on the
Mm-hmm.
top of it, it was etched
Payback.
payback.
Also, his finger
Oh yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
missing.
yeah, 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 yeah. The
His
pinky finger
finger was
was
cut. Pick a finger that had the ring up, the
yeah, had
Romany
a ring
ring
on
on it,
it.
or what? And then all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden, and then when she screamed, you just hear, you see, I was like, came through.
Yeah. And
Then we
then the
cut
next
to the
scene
final.
is
Uh
probably one
huh.
of my favorites because I can't lie. I'm a sucker for a good callback. So we see them in front of the bodega. They
Uh
both
huh.
outside eating the slush puppies with the suicide
Mm-hmm.
mix going on. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, "Hey man, I told you it was good, right?" He said, "No, I said, no, it's the best." You know what I'm saying?
It's the best. It's really good.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
he's just like, like, hey man, almost like what took so long? He was like, and then the kid is like trying to tell him how, but he's just, it's just stutter. He was like, well, I was going to do this, and I know you said maybe just put the finger in there, but then I said no. What about that? And then I was like, cut his throat from the back, but I was like, oh, that's not going to work.
That's why I
So
never
I
see his
just said,
spine and all that. Like,
got to see
ugh.
his spine and all that. Like, and then he was like, all right, kid, I get it. He says, good job. He says, but next time let's do this a little fast. He said, we're gonna do this, what I'm saying, a little faster. He was like, you're gonna be all right, kid. He says, they're gonna talk about us. They're gonna talk about us, what I'm saying, when it's all over. And it cuts to it. It cuts, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, back to
I
in the end zone on working 9 to 5, which is like,
yeah, yeah, very.
it's yo, we got like
I
2 awesome pilots in 2 days, in a
Yeah,
day's time, yo.
yeah. I also love too how the relationship between Oz and Vic is kind of like the inverse of a buddy cop movie, but
It
a buddy crime show. Or what?
Tony, that
You
is
know what
a
I'm saying? Like,
good point. This
yeah,
is a buddy crime dramedy almost right now.
drama.
That is so good,
Yeah,
yo.
thank you, man. Because I just
No,
figured
that's
it's kind of
good, yo.
it's like
I like that.
a buddy crime dramedy, and I'm invested in this. I think the episode. I think it was, like I said,
Totally invested.
solid episode. You see a couple of things that I think we're going to find out later on, like where the hell are Oz's brothers, because his brothers, because we see a younger picture of Oz with his two brothers that we saw that Vic had saw in Oz's apartment,
Yeah,
along with, and then he saw the same
his
picture at
mom's
his
house.
mom's house. And then, of course, his mom, when she had her slight dementia moment, she was like, I don't know how my medicine got into the tub. He says, the boys probably put it, said the boys probably put it in. So I want to know what happened. With that, I would like to, of course, we're going to probably see further the relationship between Oz and that, that prostitute chick that seems to, he has, seem to have a thing with.
She
And
was in
then, too,
Alien Covenant.
yes, she was, and she also, she's been in a lot of, stuff,
Yeah. She won
stuff or
another one
whatever.
of working actresses too. Yeah,
Yeah, always have a part. You know what I'm saying? Might be small, small, but she still got a part somewhere. And I'm just really interested to see, what I'm saying, how this war that Oz has caused between the Falcones and the Maronis going to fall out, and to see once again how Oz gets to be the actual, penguin and the kingpin of this whole, Gotham scene.
mm-hmm.
Uh, some things that it's like I would like, but don't see. I don't care if I don't see a Batman. I don't care if I. It'd be cool if something pops up, but I'm cool if I don't see a Batman. I'm also
Very
cool if I don't see a Catwoman, because remember, she was like Falcone's bastard child in the
true.
movie,
She
award.
is. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So I'm wondering we'll see her, but don't really, care. What I'm saying? I would like to see our guy Jeffrey Wright, if he comes in as commissioner,
No,
say
that
police
makes
chief,
sense. That makes
come in
sense.
because this is a ground level show or whatever. So
Yeah, like we
I'm
can see like
I'm
see him. We can see the like the mayoral candidate
mm-hmm,
again, like all
yeah,
that. You still see some of the
mm-hmm,
politics going on, and then like the
mm-hmm,
see the corruption, see how the
mm-hmm,
corruption is going in the Gotham PD as well. That yeah, that
yeah,
works.
yeah. But
Man,
shout out once again though, probably this great show, but once again, I think I haven't said it, but I'm gonna say this: the star of this series right now is the makeup artist team that made Colin Farrell look like that. Because it's funny, because as most of you probably know, some of you don't. I work in television and for a news station, and we were doing lead up to this, where our guy Kevin McCarthy, y'all check him out, Kevin McCarthy, not the senator, congressman, but he's Kevin McCarthy TV. He follows movies and stuff. He had an interview with Colin Farrell and the guy that did the makeup for it. I can't think of his name right now. And people were watching this, was like, oh snap, I had no idea that was Colin Farrell. And
Yeah, he did an
he
amazing
made
job.
it because they basically took a beautiful Scottish man and made him look like it made him look like the Penguin, though. So, shout out to this. And I'm really, I'm just really excited for this show. And man, this is the season for us right now, Rashad, man. This is our
Yeah,
season right now.
we in it, yo, and that's all we really got for this one. So again, next week, this is scheduled for next couple weeks. Thursday at 7, Agatha all along. Friday at noon or noon, yeah, Friday. Well, I'm sorry. Agatha all along is going to be like 7 to 8:30 or somewhere around that time. Depends on
we got lives. We're
it
adults.
depends, and also depends on how long YouTube wants to upload. I'm just being honest. Sometimes it could take 5 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour and a half.
That is true.
Yeah, and then Rings of Power, 12 p.m. Friday, 12 noon Friday, and the Penguin around 7 p.m. Friday as well. And until Rings of Power ends, they end first, and then we'll address the schedule after that.
Yeah. Any movies or anything you got coming up that you're thinking about watching or whatever?
Nah, I might see Transformers 1.
Me too.
I don't know if I'm going this weekend, but I'll probably see that. We could talk about that if you both watch it. But other than that, it's November.
Let me know when you go, because I might not this weekend myself either. I'll probably do it next weekend.
Ain't no problem.
Or whatever. Cool.
Ain't no problem at all. Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, man, that's really it, man. Y'all know what to do, man. Follow us on all the socials. Hey, Threads, Instagram, YouTube, and as Rashad always like to say, Facebook if you're nasty. We there, man. And like I said, we greatly appreciate it. We see the bases growing, and we do like y'all interaction. So comment, like, subscribe, and tell us what y'all think about the Penguin. It's a thing right now,
yeah,
and
it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. So y'all know how we are. We ain't gonna just sit here and say something's good and it ain't. And we really like what it's doing so far with the first episode. And also shout out to check out our other episodes that we did. Like I said, with the first 2 episodes of Agatha all along, and and then us doing Rings of Power. So
definitely.
Until next time, I'm Antonio.
Peace.
And Rashad.
Peace, y'all. Thanks.